Thank you very much for the invitation to participate in this program. I think it's a great initiative. My name is Sofia Hernandez Chong Cuy. I'm the director of Museo Tamayo in Mexico City. Museo Tamayo is a public museum. It was actually founded in 1981 by the artist Rufino Tamayo, who had created a collection of contemporary arts and donated it to the people of Mexico, which means to the state. The museum is publicly funded since 1986. It actually began as a private institution, but in 1986 it passed on to what is called the INBA, Instituto Nacional de Bellas Artes, which is a network of museums that are actually administered by the state. I've been here for a year now, and I moved from New York City, where I had lived for over a decade. It's been interesting to return back to my home country and to actually work in a public institution that focuses on contemporary art and that has pretty much developed one of the most exciting and interesting programs of international contemporary art here in Mexico. I want to respond to one of the questions that were posed by the organizers of this video, by the New School, which concerns other alternative institutional models that are being created in the country at this time. One of them, and I should frame it actually by saying there's a number of independent initiatives, mostly run by artists, but ultimately one of them is called Pase Usted. Pase Usted is technically a non-profit organization. It's a group of curators, educators, architects, and designers that have been organizing since 2008 a series of conferences on broad topics, and they invite as presenters anywhere from artists, public intellectuals, which is a figure quite common in Mexico, also called líderes de opinión, opinion leaders in the country. There's also politicians that are involved and just people that are doing activism. Some of the topics have been education, sustainability, and so on. But the point of this is that they've gathered numerous people to attend these audiences, meaning their audiences are quite big, and the audiences define themselves as people that are ready to change the country, that want a better future. I think that this is quite an interesting initiative because the group Pase Usted are all people in their mid to late 20s. They have chosen to work not in the private sector exclusively or in the public sector and its institutions, but instead create something in between. They are receiving now, which is quite interesting, support from the state and specifically from the City of Mexico, from the government of the City of Mexico, to create a number of art commissions or public projects that would provide city betterment. I think that it's a great initiative and certainly one of the best in the country. Pase Usted is related to what I think is an expanded field in culture in Mexico. And I'm going to cite two artists that are doing some of the most interesting projects. One of them is Claudia Fernandez, who is an artist that is from Mexico City and that has been working already for almost a decade with children that are homeless, many of them that are in very precarious situations or already drug addicts in the street. And she pretty much teaches them skills, particularly of design, of furniture and design of jewelry, and gives them workshops so that in these skills they could actually create these objects and then sell them. And learn through skills and through these workshops also part of commerce that they could participate in and have a different social imaginary, a different life, different opportunities. Claudia Fernandez has been supported less by the state than by private foundations and also from an artist called Francis Alice, which I think is quite interesting in the way in which the art field or the support from the art field comes from different points and not only from the idea of philanthropy or the idea of the state and public funding. There's also another artist called Pedro Reyes, and Pedro Reyes does projects that are between art and architecture, and a lot of them that deal with social sustainability and, once again, city improvements. These two artists, Claudia Fernandez and Pedro Reyes, have participated as presenters in Pase Usted. It's not exactly how I got to meet them, but I do think that both Pase Usted as a non-profit organization without a space, Claudia Fernandez, who works in the streets with communities that are marginalized, and Pedro Reyes, that works with big teams, production of designers and architects and so on, are actually creating a new form of production, cultural production, and social opportunities in the country. Thank you.